Wilson's 14 points. Point number 1, open covenants of peace, openly arrived at, after which there shall be no private international understandings of any kind, but diplomacy shall proceed always frankly and in the public view. Point number 2, absolute freedom of navigation upon the seas, outside territorial waters, alike in peace and in war, except as the seas may be closed in whole or in part by international action for the enforcement of international covenants. Point number 3, the removal, so far as possible, of all economic barriers and the establishment of an equality of trade conditions among all the nations consenting to the peace and associating themselves for its maintenance. Point number 4, adequate guarantees given and taken that national arrangements will be reduced to the lowest point consistent with domestic safety. Point number 5, a free, open-minded, and absolutely impartial adjustment of all colonial claims based upon a strict observance of the principle that in determining all such questions of sovereignty, the interests of the population concerned must have equal weight and the equitable claims of the government whose title is to be determined. Point number 6, the evacuation of all Russian territory and such a settlement of all questions affecting Russia as will secure the best and freest cooperation of the other nations of the world in obtaining for her an unhampered and unembarrassed opportunity for the independent determination of her own political development and national policy, and assure her of a sincere welcome into society of free nation under institutions of her own choosing, and more than a welcome assistance also of every kind that she may need and may herself desire. The treatment accorded Russia by her sister nations in the months to come will be the acid test of goodwill and of their comprehensive of her needs as distinguished from their own interests and of their intelligent and unselfish sympathy. Point number 7, Belgium, the whole world will agree, must be evacuated and restored without any attempt to limit the sovereignty which she enjoys in common with other free nations. No other single act will serve as this will serve to restore the confidence among the nations in the laws which they have themselves set and determined for the government of their relations with one another. Without this healing act, the whole structure and validity of the international law is forever impaired. Point number 8, all French territory should be freed and the invasion portion restored, and the wrong done to France by Prussia in 1871 in the matter of Alsace-Lorraine, which has unsettled the peace of the world for nearly 50 years, should be righted in order that peace may once more be made secure in the interest of all. Point number 9, a readjustment of the frontiers of Italy should be effected along clearly recognizable lines of the nationality. Point number 10, the peoples of Austria-Hungary, whose place among the nations we wish to see a safeguard and assured, should be accorded the freest opportunity to autonomous development. Point number 11, Romania, Serbia, and Montenegro should be evacuated, occupied territories restored, Serbia accorded free and secure access to the sea, and the relations of the several Balkan states to one another determined by friendly counsel along historically established lines of allegiance and nationality, and international guarantees of political and economic independence and territorial integrity of the several Balkan states should be entered into. Point number 12. The Turkish portion of the present Ottoman Empire should be assured a secure sovereignty, but the other nationalities which are now under Turkish rule should be assured an undoubtable security of life and an absolute unmolested opportunity of autonomous development, and the Dardanelles should be permanently open as a free passage to all ships and commerce of all nations under international guarantees. Point 13. An independent Polish state should be erected, which should include the territories inhabited by the Polish populations, which should be assured a free and secure access to the sea, and whose political and economic independence and territorial integrity should be a guarantee by international covenant. Finally, point 14. A general association of nations must be formed under specific covenants for the purpose of affording mutual guarantees of political independence and territorial integrity to great and small states alike.